I'm Brooklyn.
And I'm Venice, and we're bringing you the news from the 007 studio.
It's been a while, but Stuco is sponsoring another Crazy Friday tomorrow. Bring $2 to the front entrance to receive your wristband. Remember to follow the dress-out rules. Any students going on the trip to Europe for spring break need to meet in Mrs. Rossram's room during WIN tomorrow. Visitor forms for prom are now available. Anyone who plans to bring a non-Scecina student as a guest needs to complete the form. See Miss Hens in the office or Miss Quigley to get one. Forms are due by March 29th.
Seniors, the Scecina Women's Circle is hosting its annual essay contest for seniors only. Any senior may enter the contest. The winner will receive $1,000 scholarship to a qualified post-secondary school. To enter, please write an original 500 to 750 word essay about a life lesson you learned at Scecina. Please send your essay by email to bmurphy@scecina.org by April 3rd. Please write SWC essay in the subject line. Mrs. Murphy will confirm receipt of your entry by email. If you don't receive confirmation, please contact Mrs. Murphy by email or at St. Francis Hall. Now it's time for our verse of the day. This passage is from Luke chapter 7, verses 12 through 15. It says, "As he drew near to the gate of the town, behold, a man who had died was being carried out, the only son of his mother, and she was a widow, and a considerate crowd from the town was with her. When the Lord saw her, he had compassion on her, and said to her, 'Do not weep.' Then he came up and touched the bier. And the bearer stood still, and he said, 'Young man, I say to you, arise.' The dead man sat up and began to speak, and Jesus gave him to his mother."
We've been going with verses that illustrate how Jesus empowered and had compassion for women, but in this story he raises a man from the dead.
True, but the man was the only son of a widow, so Jesus was actually showing compassion for her situation. That woman's son was her only hope since women had no power in their society.
So again, we see Jesus seeing the plight of women and helping them. Now let's head outside to Bailey for today's forecast.
Thanks, guys. After a perfect day yesterday, it'll stay mild again today with the high of 69 and a low of 56. Rain is possible during the day and it's expected overnight. Tomorrow will be cooler and cloudy with a high of 55. Saturday should be nicer with a high of 61 and a mix of sun and clouds. Now back to the studio for more news.
Thanks, Bailey. It's nice that it's been pretty warm.
Sadly, it's going to rain today.
Yeah. March is Women's History Month, and we're continuing to recommend movies, documentaries, and other works that empower women and or shed light on women's history. Today we're going with the Eleanor Roosevelt story.
This Oscar-winning documentary, directed by Richard Kaplan, shares the story of one of America's great humanitarians. Eleanor Roosevelt lost both parents by age 10, but rose to national prominence when her husband became president.
As First Lady, Roosevelt used her platform to advocate for civil rights, and she also visited the troops during World War II. After her husband's death, she continued to push for human rights at the United Nations.
She was a key contributor to the drafting of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Here's a look at part of the trailer for the film.
The figure that emerges in those last 4 years is a figure without likeness in our history. The lonely little girl in the dark parlor on 37th Street who asked only to be left to her unhappiness had become a woman known by sight to millions of human beings and by repute to nearly all the world. A woman who stood for compassion and hope in every continent of the earth, for courage and for belief. A woman who met the great and the simple, both with the same simplicity, giving and taking what she had given and taken all her life, the sense of humanity, of human worth.
The full film is available on YouTube for free. There are many other videos and articles on Eleanor Roosevelt as well. Now for our lunch menu. Today we're having spaghetti with meat sauce, broccoli, and garlic toast. Tomorrow it will be a no-meat Friday. We'll have a choice of cheese ravioli, tuna salad, egg salad, or a fish sandwich. Please remember that all menu items are subject to change based on availability. In our latest RG poll of the week, we want to know where people are headed for spring break next week. The poll is up in Canvas, so respond by midnight and we'll air the results in Friday's show. The lip dub is supposed to be out by tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Me too. When do you think it'll drop on the channel?
I don't know, but I think Jacob has an opinion.
I can feel it coming in the air tonight.
Oh, somebody's in the lip dub mood. It's a good mashup of songs, but what made them go with songs from the 80s?
Well, a fun fact is that all their Failing Forward episodes have included 80 songs. They started off early with Michael Jackson in their We're Back skit, but they never looked back.
I see what you did there. So the lip dub is kind of bringing it all together with a bunch of more 80s hits. Do you really think it'll drop tonight, or did Jacob just want to sing that song?
Tonight, tonight, tonight.
Okay, I think the guys apparently think it's dropping tonight. I guess we'll have to find out.
Well, if it does drop tonight, that's it for today's Red and Gold Show.
Stay classy.
And give that little extra.